Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Product Innovation Webinar for 2024. In the next 45 minutes, we would like to take you through the latest trends and updates and product innovations for WoodWing Assets, WoodWing Studio and WoodWing Connect. My name is Tom Pijssel, and I'm responsible for product management within the WoodWing Group. So I'm joined today by Jouke Jongsma, a product manager, WoodWing Assets, Danny LaHaye, product manager, WoodWing Studio, and Jeff Kapp, product manager, WoodWing Connect. Let me quickly walk you through today's agenda. So we will first start with a small introduction to WoodWing, before diving into the features that were released in 2023 and the initiatives that we have planned for this year. We will wrap up this webinar with the impact of AI on content generation in general and our plans around this topic. At the end, we have time for questions, so please ask them. You can use the private chat option on the right side of your screen. The digital transformation and explosion of customer touchpoints has led to a perfect storm. So this has led to a state of content chaos and inefficiency. Customers that have not invested in technology to navigate this storm suffer from poor communication between internal and external stakeholders. They see slow knowledge transfer and the use of outdated information. This results in error-prone, duplicate, and inconsistent work. We see a lot of time is wasted in finding the correct information and ensuring brand consistency, or worse, that inconsistent customer journeys are offered. Secondly, we see legal risks because of failure to comply to stricter legislation and standards. WoodWing helps customers to navigate this storm by driving digital transformation and powerful content workflows. For those that are new to WoodWing, we are a leader in the enterprise information management space and trusted by large global brands. Through our intuitive and open SaaS technologies, our services and global partner network, we liberate organizations from their content and information inefficiencies. We believe that if you take charge of your content and information, that you will unlock your people's full potential. We often see that content is all over the place. Content is scattered over many different silos, clouds, persons, both internal and external, and different versions of the content are used in parallel. This leads to confusion, frustration, and business performance being impacted. More than often, unstructured workflows are used. No one knows where we are in the process or which person to involve at the correct time. And worst of all, the content is locked into specific channels or silos, unable to be reused. In practice, content doesn't really have a home. By integrating solutions like WoodWing Assets and Studio, content gets a safe home. Users can seamlessly collaborate and can securely and reliably access the latest version of the content. All of this gives them peace of mind so they can focus on value-adding activities. This increases the motivation and productivity of your content teams, leading to higher revenues and lower costs. We see a wide spread of verticals that take advantage of the WoodWing technology stack. Each vertical is unique, but shares similar content and compliance challenges. To name a few, how do you create engaging content at scale and on time? How do you do this with a cross-functional and dispersed team? How to ensure brand consistency across teams and territories? And how to ensure that the correct version is published? And how to do this at scale? So think of the content velocity of producing a newspaper, working with a large team, or having to manage the product repository of a large retailer. You also have to do this while respecting users' rights, copyrights, privacy rights, and making sure that compliance is an integral part of your process. The WoodWing platform is, however, more than WoodWing Assets and Studio, which enable you to create this exceptional content at scale. It also includes WoodWing Extendis and WoodWing Shienta. Extendis is a so-called Enterprise Information Management System, or DMS, which allows you to manage highly sensitive documents like medical records, passports, and contracts. WoodWing Shienta is a quality and knowledge management system that contains all your internal knowledge, processes, and procedures. Use cases, for example, include business, ISO, or medical-related processes. In today's webinar, we will, however, focus on Assets and Studio. The WoodWing platform continues to evolve and new capabilities are added frequently. So we will do a more deep dive later in this presentation on a product-by-product basis, but to highlight a few, we've added an option to synchronize content between the print workflow and your channel neutral or digital variant of the story. This allows you to already start the print production while finalizing your channel neutral or digital variant of the story. This greatly reduces the overall lead time of the production process. We've released many smaller improvements that help users to be more efficient on a daily basis. So think, for example, of directly opening an hyperlink from the metadata panel in Assets, or the fact that we made it easier to change the current issue in Studio. Also, the WoodWing Connect iPaaS solution now has out-of-the-box connectors for Studio and Assets, which enable you to easily integrate with the hundreds of SaaS vendors available in the platform. The main advantage of using WoodWing Connect is that a business analyst can now create integrations instead of relying on a development team. And of course, we focused on keeping the underlying technology stack of the platform up to date. This is critical to ensure a safe and scalable working environment. A lot of these efforts are invisible to the end user. To keep it simple, the platform should just work for them and help them to accomplish their goals. However, under the hood, a lot of optimizations have been made to ensure the platform is scaled correctly. This has led to a significantly higher than promised availability. For 2024, we have much more in the pipeline. We, for example, are extending our content collaboration capabilities with a completely revised commenting, annotation, and approval capabilities. This will empower users to become even more efficient and quickly react to questions that are popping up in the content production workflows. Also, we are adding or including an option to make it easier to use data in your storytelling. And of that, we have more information later in the presentation. We are adding in-app photo and video capabilities to our DEM products, so users no longer have to rely on the image production team or advanced and complex editing tools when creating content for social channels. And lastly, of course, we are focusing on AI. So how can AI help you to become more efficient and more creative while ensuring human oversight to prevent that incorrect content is published? Let me now hand you over to Dani that will share more information about Studio.
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be taking a look at Studio. I'm going to first focus on some of the things that we addressed in 2023, and then we'll take a look at some things that are coming in the future. So jumping into our recap, we had Adobe CC 2023 introduced. We were able to bring in InDesign and InCopy in Q1 of last year. We also introduced Smart Style CC 2024 this year. Studio for print, we introduced a number of new features, such as setting the print issue as the current issue inside of Studio. Sync digital to print was also explored and introduced, as were InDesign server performance improvements. For our digital publishers, we did add some updates to the attachments panel, the preview devices, and tables inside of digital articles. I'm going to take you into a demo to show you some of those features in action. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to recap some of the features introduced in the last year. Our first big topic of 2023 was sync digital to print. With this feature, we added the ability to keep your digital article synced to print. If you make a change in the digital article, the print article is also automatically updated in the background. This greatly reduces the overall lead time in a channel neutral or digital first workflow, because the layouting process can already start before the base article is fully finished. Inside of Studio, we added several small improvements. The design of the side panel was updated. This also allowed us to make some requested improvements to areas like the digital editor attachments panel. We've added the ability to see the full file name and image size before placing the image in the digital article. In Studio's digital editor, we've updated the device preview list so that you have different aspect ratios and they're a bit more modernized. We've also introduced the ability to update the current issue inside of the issue manager. Now a user can change the current issue without needing to log into Studio Server. In terms of Adobe, we added Studio for InDesign CC 2023. We know our users look forward to the yearly update of Creative Cloud, and we're currently hard at work preparing for Studio InDesign CC 2024. We're also happy to announce that Smart Styles for CC 2024 was available day of launch for Adobe CC 2024. Last but certainly not least, we've added support for digital tables through an integration with Infogram. I'm going to navigate to create a new table component inside of my digital article. To do that, I am first going to find my potential table. Once I find that location, I'm going to select the orange plus icon, then select a new area here where it says Data. From there, I select the chart icon. Once I select the option, I open the right-hand side panel and open my component properties. If you click on Create Data Visualization, this will open the Infogram application directly inside of Studio. Infogram will prompt you to create an account or log in if you have not already done so. If you have previously logged in, your sign-in information will be remembered and I can connect directly to my Infogram account. Inside of Infogram, I can create a table from new information or upload information into Infogram. By default, Infogram will show you some pre-filled information to show you the best possible format for text. We can directly edit this information, delete it, or even overwrite it by uploading a new file. I'm uploading an Excel file from my desktop into Infogram. When I do so, I can now see an HTML rich responsive table embed. I can change the table styles with colors, fonts, and formats to create the appropriate design. When I am happy with the look of my table, I select the Insert option. It will place the table inside of my article. When you publish the article, you now have complex data displayed in a clear and concise design. Infogram has more than just table formats. This is one of many reasons why we're so excited to work with them. If you want to create a pie chart, a map, or an infographic, all of this can be done inside of the Infogram chart component. For example, I'm going to upload an Excel file. If I navigate back to the chart settings, you can change the chart type. If I navigate to the settings and then select Change, you'll see many different design options. There are a variety of options as to how your information can be viewed. For a full list of examples and resources, we highly recommend taking a look at Infogram's website. Thanks for watching this demonstration. Full details of the implementation can be found on WoodWing's Help Center. We look forward to seeing you unlock your potential with infogram-powered tables inside of Studio Digital Articles. All right. So that was taking a look at some of the things that we introduced in the last year. And if I look into the future, I'm going to have Tom help me move the slides. Thank you so much. For content collaboration, we are trying to bring communication a little bit closer to the users inside of our tools. We know that there are often times when people need to have a quick round of communication that may happen in between workflow steps. That's what content collaboration is for. Think of these as being a new, better comments or notes feature. So perhaps I have an editor who needs to look at rewriting part of an article, or maybe a story has made a different change or a new direction. That's what comments will introduce. The ability to track all of this communication closer to home with the files themselves. It's a little bit better than email, and it's just allowing those users to work inside of the tools that they know and love. We'll keep you posted as we continue to work on content collaboration and commenting inside of Studio. And with that, I'm going to pass you over to Yoka for a look at Assets and Swivle.
Thank you, Daddy. Hello, everybody. So let's move to the next slide. There we go. So I will go over the key improvements we made to Assets and Swivle over the past 12 months. The first improvement I want to talk about is that we added support for JPEG 2000 files. So this file type is often used by cultural institutions such as libraries or museums. Another improvement we made is to include sub-collections in the search results. We have also added the option to unpin all pinned collections at once. In the demonstration video, I will show these and a few other improvements. The upload button in Assets can now be linked to an external upload client. So this can be used to build a custom upload workflow or process. Metadata fields often contain a URL, and with this enhancement, URLs are now clickable. So URLs that are part of the metadata field are detected and displayed as a hyperlink. The log files now also include successful webhook calls. So these log files can, for example, be used for analyzing the success rate of a webhook call. The waveform spectrogram of an audio file is now generated. So this waveform is shown as a thumbnail and preview of the audio file in Assets. So over the past 12 months, we have also fixed multiple bugs. And in addition, we will continue to add improvements to the Assets product. Swivle, so for our SaaS DOM product, we have been working on rewriting the storage engine. This will make the product even more future-proof and more scalable. The storage overall made it possible to introduce encryption at rest. And with the new storage engine, we also introduced a new way to upload files in Swivle. I will demonstrate this later. We have added the metadata report feature to Swivle. So this feature was already available in Assets. And this feature allows users to export the CSV file with a list of metadata fields and of course, their values. As with Assets, the waveform of an audio file is generated and displayed as a thumbnail and also as a preview. We have also improved the AI auto tagging feature. It now also is able to detect text on images. The team is still finalizing the work around adding SSO, single sign-on, to Swivle. And once SSO is added to Swivle, the team will begin developing a feature, what we call the front-end plugins. This will allow customers and partners to create integrations directly in the Swivle interface, for example, with a PIM system, project management software, or other third-party solutions. Another thing we are working on is incorporating a video and photo editing functionality to both our DEM products. And the photo and video editor will be made available to our Asset Cloud customers and the Swivle customers. With the photo editor, users can directly make changes to images from the DAM without the need for checking out the file and opening it in for example, Photoshop. The more complex photo editing will still be done in Photoshop, but things like cropping a file, changing the color settings like adjusting the brightness or saturation, or adding a text overlay, adding emojis or stickers, all can be done directly from the DAM system. And with the video editor, users can edit videos also directly from within the DAM. For example, when publishing a short video to a channel like YouTube or TikTok, the user can bundle the source videos, add also a text overlay without relying on the video production team or complex video editing software. The photo editor will become available for our Asset Cloud customers around April of this year. The video editor is expected in Assets the second quarter of this year, and for Swivle, both features are planned for the second half of this year. Let's go over to a short demonstration video of about 4 minutes. So let me start.
In this demonstration, I will go over a few of the latest improvements we made to Assets and Swivle. Let me start with the improvements we made around collections. Collections are containers or virtual folders used to collect and organize content. All kinds of files can be put in a collection, including other collections. These collections can be pinned to the pinned collection panel so they are easily accessible. Over time, when quick access is not needed anymore, they can, of course, be unpinned. To make this process of unpinning all collections easier, we have added an option, Unpin All Collections. This is especially useful for customers that have a lot of pinned collections. Next to that, we are now also including sub-collections in the search results. In previous versions of Assets, when users did a search for files and assets, collections in collections. So here we have a collection, and here you have a collection in collection. In the previous version, those were excluded from the search results. Now with this improvement, users can also search for sub-collections, collections and sub-collections. So let me demonstrate this. So now when I look for the photoshoot 2024, it's not visible, but if I select also to look through sub-collections, as you can see, it is now also showing. The next improvement I would like to show is that URLs in the metadata panel will now appear as hyperlinks. For example, if I now would add an URL in the description field, the URL will be clickable. So I've now added a URL and we extract the URL and make it a hyperlink. Now I would like to show the improvements we made to our other DAM product called Swivle. We made improvements to how files are uploaded to Swivle. So before, a separate upload screen appeared in which files could be uploaded and metadata could be added. We have removed this screen to make the process simpler, quicker and more automated. So now once files that have been uploaded, you have an upload panel where you can see all the batches, and if you want to add metadata to the latest uploaded batch, all the files are pre-selected and you can add metadata to those uploaded files. And you can always go back to the upload panel where you have the overview. Files uploaded to Swivle can be automatically tagged using artificial intelligence, AI. During this process, the content of an image is analyzed and relevant keywords are added to metadata fields. Previously, Swivle did not detect text on an image, but this has now been changed. So let me demonstrate this. I will upload an image that only consists of text. And what you now will see is that relevant keywords of this image are added to this text from artificial intelligence metadata field. Another improvement we made is around audio files. So let me upload an audio file. And what you now will see is that the waveform of the file is created, is generated, and is displayed as a thumbnail or as a preview of the file. Having the waveform as a thumbnail makes it easier to locate audio files in Swivle. Also available in Assets. This concludes my demo.
Over to Jeff.
Very good. Thank you, Jelke. I'm going to go ahead here and march into the WoodWing Connect presentation. Again, my name is Jeff Gapp. I'm the product manager for WoodWing Connect. And WoodWing Connect, very simply put, is our integration tooling for WoodWing Assets, for WoodWing Studio, and for Swivle. The makes up quite a bunch of things, but the big thing to know is that, of course, the APIs within the system, the webhooks that are generated within these systems, and of course the iPass tool, which is called Workato. Now, the 2023 was kind of a year of building foundations for these integrations. We certainly did quite a bit of work, which you'll see in the next slide. But the big thing is that we completed our connectors for Workato. You'll see what I mean by that here in the video. But for Studio, Assets, and Swivle, we now have complete connectors for the iPass tool, and it's pretty awesome. We also took some time and created tooling to understand and use our APIs. This was a kind of a personal thing for me, where we created these collections using Postman. We have what are called environments in those collections, and then we also have flows. The whole idea is that along with the documentation for the APIs for these systems, using Postman really helps you visualize as a developer how to gain access to the system, how to query for things, how to create things within these systems, and so on. So the Postman collections are a big deal, right, in helping you understand how to do integrations within our tooling. Within WoodWing Connect, we've made some strategic decisions, and one of those strategic decisions is pre-built integrations. We want to make it easier for our customers to be able to essentially integrate other systems with the WoodWing systems. The iPass tool Workato was the first major step in that direction. The connectors complete that step. And now what we're doing is we're focusing on providing some of these pre-built integrations to our customers, of course, commercially. The first one that you see here is AI tagging using recognition. That one was released last year. Right? Monday.com is coming up with Studio and Assets. You'll be starting to see some videos and things like that coming out as we work on that. AI tagging with Clarify is in progress and essentially done. The rest of the items that you see in here are really based around customer input, things that somebody wants to be able to integrate with. We're pretty excited about them, from the assets to Power BI to WordPress to Studio, and using, say, Box.com as a source for importing images into Assets or Swivle. So we're really excited about that. The video that I'm about to show is really me making an integration with Slack, right? It's meant to be quick and dirty and on the fly. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into that slide, and then we'll go ahead to the video, and we're going to play the video, and then I'll be back in a moment. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Gapp. I'm the product manager for WoodWing Connect. I thought we would take a moment and build a very simple recipe using WoodWing Connect and Workato. What we're going to do here is just go ahead and create a recipe. We're going to give it a name. We're going to say assets to Slack. And we're going to pick a trigger from an app. This is helps us work with the different connectors that WoodWing has. So here we go. We're going to start building. We're going to select an app and a trigger event. Well, we have our connectors, and here they are, WoodWing Assets. So we pick the app, we pick the connection that we want to use, and then we set that item up. And we're going to go ahead and just paste in some JSON here. Go ahead and hit next, generate the schema. We're going to give this another name, assets to Slack. This is the name that shows up inside of assets in the administration console. And then the most important thing is picking the event. What we want to do here is pick the asset update metadata. Now you can see there's a wide variety of other kinds of events that have happened, but in this case, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to just grab that one. We can also add metadata to include that gets returned and change metadata and so on, but we're going to just do that. Now what we'll do is we're going to add an action or sets of actions. In this case, we're also going to handle errors because if there's a problem with the recipe, we want to be notified of that problem. So we're going to select an app in action. We're going to choose assets again. And in this case, what we're going to do is simply go ahead and we're going to just do a search. Now we can find our actions here by coming in and doing a search. It's going to ask us for what we want for an object type, for a query. Now what we're going to do is a very simple query. We're going to go look for the asset that was triggered. We're going to grab the asset ID, fill it in here, and we want to get back 50 results, which is just the default here. Now, once we have our search, we're going to go ahead and add in a notification. We're going to say for Slack, go ahead and choose that app. We're going to post a message. We're going to use my personal connection, and we're going to put this into the From Assets channel. And we're going to say here, this asset, and then we can come in here, grab the different things. We can come in and just say base. We'll just do the base name. Comma was updated. Please check it out. And we can, of course, have other kinds of things here, attachments and text and all kinds of good stuff. Now, in this case, we also want, if there's an error, we want to post a message in Slack. We want to come back in here, say Slack, post the message again. This time we'll use the same channel from assets and say, hey, there was a problem. And then you can get things like error messages, so the type of error that came in, and of course the error message. Let's go ahead and add a comma in there. Right, and there we go. Now we're ready to save this. Now, it's been saving all along, but we'll be explicit. And then we can test the job. And what we do here is we test the recipe. It's waiting for a trigger. So we're going to come over and we'll just grab any one of these images. We'll go ahead and change the status here to correction. Now, what we'll see is when we return, here's the event happening pretty fast. This is the end result. Now, it says it's successful, but what you can also do is come in here and you can see the input, the output, and any debug information. So in this case, here's the event coming in, and then we did a search for an object, and here is all of the results of that query, and the metadata and all that good stuff, and then posting that message to Slack. Now, if we come over here to Slack, what we end up seeing is do from assets. There it is, and that's building a very quick recipe. Very good. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, of course, put those in the private chat or reach out to us via any of the channels that you have, and we'd love to talk to you about the integrations, love to talk to you about WoodWing Connect. Thank you, and Tom, I think you're next.
Yes. The final part of this webinar, and that's we would like to zoom in on the impact of AI and our plans around AI. So AI will have a major impact on the way we create and consume content. But on the other hand, we are still at the beginning of what is possible. So the launch of ChatGPT last year put generative AI into the spotlights, and over the last 12 months, we've seen countless of new services and solutions being launched. And technology leaders around the globe have challenges keeping up to date with all the latest developments, webinars, podcasts, services, etc. And are faced with the question, how can you really take advantage of AI? We see clear use cases that can help users to become more efficient, like transforming content, generating or manipulating images, searching and classification of content. But how do you embed AI into your content workflows without ignoring the risks associated to AI? The image that you just saw on the right was, for example, created by Midjourney using the prompt that you see below. And here, one of the risks is bias, and you can see it here in action. So I asked for a female content writer, and it came back with some pretty nice images. But why did the AI generate a white lady or white ladies with blonde hair and blue eyes? So we believe that for the foreseeable future, human oversight is required, and we don't expect it will replace humans anytime soon. However, when AI is used as a co-pilot or a wingman, there are countless of possibilities to become more efficient and to be more creative than ever. If you look at the main risks in the content space associated to AI, we can bundle them into the following three categories. So firstly, content. So organizations run the risk that incorrect content is published. If you use AI to automatically translate a review or a product description, this might be okay. But if you're creating medical content, only 100% accuracy is good enough. The increase of fake news is a big risk on our modern and interconnected society. And organizations would face legal risks or reputational damages when they publish incorrect information. Please note that this is especially challenging when working with external content parties. You have to ensure that their standards align with your standards. And secondly, ethical risks. Like I showed you before, bias can be very subtle, so users should be aware of this in the review process. So when AI systems are involved in making moral or ethical decisions, such as healthcare and HR, it raises questions about whether these systems can align with human values and ethics at all. And AI has the potential to automate tasks, which leads to a displacement of jobs. This raises concerns and questions within your team and the fear of using AI. But on the other hand, we see that the same users are already using AI today or are using services that rely on AI today. And finally, copyright concerns. How do you prevent that your critical data is not leaked and used to train public models? And how do you ensure that you have the rights to use the content generated by AI? Every organization needs to judge these risks and ensure that the correct measurements are implemented in their processes. We see that technology leaders each have to reinvent the wheel when implementing those standards. This is where we believe a solution like WoodWing Sienta can help. So WoodWing Sienta has been used by many leaders to implement ISO and medical-related processes within their organizations. Based on the standard handbooks, they have implemented their specific processes and ensured that these processes are shared within the organization in a consistent and easy way. We're currently in the process of finishing up an AI handbook for content production, which you can use as a blueprint to set and share your standards within your organization. But every risk could also be turned around into an opportunity. Yes, AI will most likely be used to generate fake news. The large commercial AI services will most likely add some layers of protection, but given the fact that there are also many open source models, it is to be expected that the creators of fake news will and have already found their ways. News and recognized organizations have the opportunity to leverage this and attract more readers because they are a trusted source. However, human oversight is crucial for these organizations to prevent reputational risk by publishing incorrect information. Secondly, content can be hyper-personalized. On the fly, the tone of voice or grade level can be adapted to the reader, or the content can be adapted to the location or point in time. So think, for example, of the difference of consuming content on the go versus a Sunday morning at home. And there are also personal opportunities for your teams. As with any new major enhancement in technology, people are afraid of their jobs. Yes, people's role will change and some roles might become obsolete. But on the other hand, many new jobs will emerge. Secondly, AI can increase employee satisfaction because the mundane and boring tasks are now picked up by AI, allowing the team to focus on the creative and complex tasks. And lastly, efficiency. AI can help to automatically generate the basic content like financial summaries, sports, traffic reports, or weather updates, freeing human journalists and writers to focus on the complex and investigative work. And finally, a better ROI on content, because work can be done more efficient. Think of transforming or translating content, summarizing your source material, or help with the review process. We have formed a cross-functional team to explore the potential of AI. So how can AI enhance the content workflows, and how can we bring it beyond the hype and into the hands of end users? At the moment, we are testing 3 different use cases together with customers. So the first case is around content transformation. So AI can help you transform content. Think of translating content, changing the tone of voice of your article, creating a SEO optimized version of your article, or it can help you in the transformation from print to digital. The second use case is about finding and reusing content. By combining the power of an AI-based semantic search engine with a strong metadata and access right model that we can find in assets, for example, content can easily be found. The transformational capabilities of AI can help the user to summarize the related content and create new content. This could be cross-brand or even cross-language. And lastly, copy fitting. So how can AI help in the copy fitting process while ensuring the user is in full control? So as I mentioned before, we are actively working together with customers on these various use cases. But if you would like to participate in any of the use cases or would like to talk to our experts on AI related topics, please contact us on podman@woodwing.com or via the early access forum. With this, we have reached the Q&A section of our webinar. We would like to thank you for your attention so far. So let me have a quick look at the questions. And I think
I'll jump back in because I know there were a lot coming in on tables. All right, so I'm going to answer a few questions that I've already gotten about tables and how it works. So behind the scenes, the way that it works is if you start from a CSV file or an Excel file, you could then place that inside of Infogram. What we learned in our customer research before we built the feature was that the data of the table tends to stay the same between both print and digital, but the two looks between the two different platforms are different. So Infogram allows you the possibility of styling the table in a way that's responsive, interactive, and HTML friendly. Whereas if you want to place that same table on print, you could then use InDesign's table styles to very quickly and efficiently style your table for print. If you want the two tables to look exactly the same, there is a solution. Infogram has a capability to download a table graphic as a high quality image or PNG that can be placed inside of print. Note that that does require a paid integration or a paid subscription with Infogram. But that's the way that we see that this will likely work. Okay, I think I answered several there, just scrolling back through. I had some questions about CC 2024 and when that would be made available. CC 2024 is coming hopefully end of Q1, but we will keep everyone updated as we go along.
I see a question coming in about the language models that we use in the background. So we will not build our own language model. So here we rely on the industry standards and services that are available. And we are actively comparing these, the different models, and different models give also a bit different results. So for the copy fitting, we will most likely go for OpenAI as a model. But for semantic search, we will also see that models from AWS Bedrock are very good in processing these the various languages. So also we do this in a way where we can swap models, so that over time, when new models become available, so that we can quickly take advantage of this model. So it's not one model, it's basically using the right model for the right task, or combining several models for a task at hand or a use case.
I'm going to keep going on tables while you look for the next question.
Yeah.
Tables is available now, today. Please, by all means, feel free to start playing with it. It was made available in Studio 11.159. It does require an update to your component set and the Studio installation. But then after that, absolutely, yes. Please feel free to start using tables. We'd love to see what you're creating.
Jeff, I saw a question coming in about if there's any training material available for WoodWing Connect.
Yeah. So a couple of questions. So for WoodWing Connect, the WoodWing connectors, we have documentation available on our, of course, in our help center that explains the different events that are available and different things that you're looking for there. There's also the Workato tool also has something called the Workato Academy, and quite extensive training for Workato. We really can't do it better than they can. It's their product. So you can use that as well. There is also a question about WoodWing Connect being available for on-premise. The answer is yes. You may, depending on your environment, need to use something called the on-premise agent from Workato, basically secure communication between your instances of Studio Assets and Workato. Pre-built integrations are for the cloud only. Questions?
Let's have a look. I see a question about our print to digital transformation scripts. So here I think it's interesting to touch base on the possibilities of AI. We see a very good results actually in transforming print content to digital content through the use of AI. So through the use of AI, we can detect, or the AI can detect titles, subtitles, for example, and convert this in a nice digital article. And then in the second phase, or you can do it in one step if you want, you can also transform that article and rewrite it, and for example, add completely different subtitles, say optimized subtitles, so that you really take advantage of the digital channel while transforming the the content. But that all depends on your use case. So some customers want to have the article one-on-one pushed from print to digital. Other customers update the article and take advantage of the digital capabilities like SEO.
All right, seeing more tables questions. Any plans to use tables built directly into InDesign from the digital article using print to digital script or something similar? When we were taking a look at building the functionality, we started first from digital to print. However, it is possible to write an InDesign script that will then export the table as a CSV file, which you could then upload into a table inside of your digital editor. Professional Services at WoodWing does have this. Also, if you are a partner or you work with a partner, that may be something that your partner might be able to help you with or provide, but that is not something that we have built into the solution at this time. Right now, we are focused mostly on starting digital, flowing it down to print.
Okay, then we got a question, okay, where we will release features, will they become available to on-prem and cloud? This depends a bit on the feature. So the tables, for example, is something that's fully available for on-premise customers. Also Connect is available to on-premise customers like Jeff just mentioned. The only thing is the video editor and the photo editor. That's something that will only become available to our cloud customers. And also the AI topics that we have to see if it's what is possible for on-prem and cloud. So we take that on a case-by-case basis. But for both tracks, we have a lot of developments coming your way.
I think I'm through all of the studio questions, but I'll give it another minute in case anyone else submits anything.
Yeah, so we give it another minute, and otherwise, please feel free to reach out to us. You can use the propman@woodwing.com, or you can use the normal support channels to reach out to us, and we're more than happy to answer your questions.
I think that might be it.
I think so too. And then rest me with thanking you all for your attention. It's a great turnout, and hope to see you all soon in real life.
Thank you. Bye.